So this part of the video is going to be a mishmash because what we have here, we have my old Norma brass that's been dropping like flies, and I'm actually doing a very small load workup. So we got 40 grains, 40.4, 40.8, and this is with IMR 4451 with Nosler Custom Competitions. After that, we're going to be doing some retesting with the Barnes match burners, 170 grain. And this is actually with Norma URP as a powder. Did I just say that? Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a slight load workup, but we're going to be using different powders. I'm retesting with CCI number 34. I got some of those in. Expensive, but you know what? They'll last. And then lastly, we are just seeing how some Sierra Match Kings do with a noted load. So let's get to shooting. So here's our minor load workup, and let's just do a brief talk through this, because there's only so much we can read into it. Because first, only 3-shot groups. Second, we moved up. We covered a total of like a grain of powder here. But anyway, so this nice even group, this is what we basically been seeing. And by the way, I used my Lyman die for this. So that's basically what we've come to expect. With 10 shots, it does open up. I think it was a little over an inch. Anyway, so that's a nice group, but we know we can do better. Here we go. This is 40.5, and I'm not too surprised by this because with our 10-shot groups up here, we were getting occasional flyers, which is some sort of instability, either with the load or, you know, I don't want to say neck tension, but seating depth. I guess neck tension too, whatever. Anyway, any number of reasons could cause it, but just by bumping up the powder charge here, we readily see a flyer after only a 3-shot group. So this tells me that this is probably the scatter node. Like up here, we're on the edge of it with a 10-shot group. Here, we definitely see that, and it's only a 3-shot group, so whatever. The next one, here we go. It looks like a better group than the first one. It actually is not. It's still roughly about a 1/2 inch, but you can see the horizontal stringing there. You can go ahead and blame me for that if you want, but with barrel harmonics, you will see that sometimes there is the horizontal stringing and then vertical stringing. And it's similar as when you get, you know, those accuracy nodes, or rather harmonic nodes where bullet seems to fly through one hole, versus scatter nodes where you get flyers all over the place, which is caused by, like I said, any number of things. At this point, I'm repeating myself. I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to mark these targets off, and I'm going to retest the rounds I made with Norma URP. Okay, so I just fired the first 5 shots of the Barnes match burners with Norma URP, and when I looked through the scope, I couldn't believe it because, so this 1/2 inch group, this is with the load we've been testing. These are with the Nosler Custom Competitions 1/2 inch group. Not bad. Like, I've been very happy with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap. That's awful. That's worse than with the Federal Fusions. So I owe Federal kind of an apology. Oh. Now, here's the thing. And I might be calling this a little bit too soon. But going forward, I'm anxious to see if the other groups are going to be a little bit similar, because the reason why I picked the 3 loads to retest that I did is that with the different primer, they were, I don't want to say harmonically the same, but they had a similar point to impact. There's very little shift. So I don't have much hope. I'm still going to finish it up. We'll see. But if it is the case that overall it's a lot worse, then we definitely are in a scatter node for the seating depth, right? Because we know the rifle is capable of a lot more. But yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Okay, so it's dark enough. I definitely have to start packing up, but let's do just a quick little review of this. This is under 2 inches. So by that regard, yes, it went out against the Lee. It's a pretty good group for an untested load. And even, especially when taking account No warm-up shots, no foulers. This is after cleaning the barrel. But however, it's spread out enough that we don't see just a couple flyers here like with the RCBS. These are pretty evenly spaced out. So this is basically what the group would have been regardless. So all the other things that were going in its favor, quote unquote, I don't want to say we can write off. We can still take into account, but how much did it affect things? Probably not by much. Either way, like said, my Redding next sizing die does have a greater amount of run out. And maybe I should actually show that in a follow-up video. So maybe I'll take one and I'll just show you guys. Anyway, so this is what the Redding did. The rest of these, I'm probably going to leave these targets up here so someone else can have some fun. I'm taking down this one now. And I'll see you guys another day. By the way, you might have noticed that I only have 9 shots there, rather 9 cases now. It's because I noticed while reforming, 2 of them were starting to get split necks. So it's time to retire those 2 pieces. Imagine the rest are not too far behind. It is 24 firings without annealing. So we're walking out, we're checking our targets. We're going to see how well we did. Wow. Here we go. So that's a a 9-shot group. So I have 1 outlier. The rest are all on there. So it's overall, all of them in their maximum spread did about the same, right? About 2 inches. Some have definitely did better than others. Lee overall had the most uniform 2-inch group. The RCBS had 7 within my thumb, and then we had 3 outliers that opened up the group. And then the Redding was very similar to this, but a little bit sprouted out, and this is the Lyman. So yeah, so I mean, we've seen flyers before. I will still chalk it up to the load. Maybe it's me. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I have enough daylight to work up a load, but we'll see what we can do. So here we go. Here's it's been body size, but then we used basically a mandrel, and this is actually overall one of our better groups if we're just measuring from the 2 outermost shots. It has an interesting pattern in which these are pretty much all strung together, but then you have almost like a secondary string there. It's not evenly spaced out like with our Lee die or our Redding die. And there's no apparent flyers like there was with pretty much all the others. So, I mean, I don't want to read too much into it because I don't want to say, oh, look, you got a string here and then you got this other secondary place where it won the group. That could be it, but let's not read too much into it. It's only 9 shots. But either way, I thought it would just be fun to see all the various ways in which, in the brands. The only thing I'm missing is a Forster die set, which I'm not sure if I'm going to get. I have enough already. Or, actually, I do have a Lee, the next sizing mandrel. I could try that, but first we have to inspect our brass. Anyway, I need to finish working up the group. This is going to be with URP, so let's get to that next, after the gun cools off.